And Esports Wente 220 is a pretty affordable cardioid microphone, like how a lot of other anti-sport stuff is. As they clearly are a brand which knows that humans of India like budget stuff, which may or may not be good. So let's see if it's any good for the price of 2500 rupees and if it can truly bring in some Wente in your audio. What? Hey everyone, Mukul here. So yeah, this mic was sent to me by Anti-Sports and I'm gonna review it like the bad microphone user I am. Hello. Anti-Sports has kinda embraced this yellow themed box design for most of its stuff, and it looks good here too. The microphone has been packed very carefully inside this almost perfectly die-cut foam, and trust me when I say that this is a massive upgrade from how I have seen Anti-Sports package their headphones, which I reviewed almost a year back or so. The package consists of a warranty card, the microphone and a USB-C cable. So yeah, good scores for the Wente so far. I like how they have designed the microphone and overall it looks pretty classy and pleasing. Until I noticed this huge mic mute logo on the top of the microphone, which made me kinda deduct the score a little. I mean, this could have been easily shrinked in size and that would have just made the affordable microphone look pretty good overall. And if you are one of the smart ones, you must have already understood that this is a touch type sensor which mutes the microphone, but it doesn't behave like a feather touch type and definitely needs a little weight on it. And the smartest ones would have already noticed that the mic rattles a little as soon as I touch the button on top because it's a pretty light microphone. Apart from muting the microphone, which changes the color to red when the mic is muted, holding the mute button for about 2 seconds enables the noise reduction function of the mic. The microphone's body is mostly plastic and Wente 220 embarked logo on the bottom isn't quite centrally aligned. I mean, they did a good job in embedding this logo there, but the right aligned logo can trigger my OCD sometimes. And on the bottom of the mic there is a USB-C connector to power on the mic and a 3.5mm output jack to monitor what you are saying or how you sound in real time. And because of this, there is no thread to mount any sort of microphone arm or stand under the microphone. So if you want, you can experiment with one of these generic shock mounts and let me know if any of these work for you. I mean, yeah, viewers can be reviewers too sometimes. Why not? The mic can tilt to about 110 degrees to the back and completely upside down if you fancy looking towards the bottom of stuff for some weird reason. The RGB light on the top of the mic looks nice and subtle, and you would love it if you love surrounding yourself with stuff which has RGB over it. Towards the back of the microphone, I noticed a tiny darkened area which might just be a wire hitting the back of the microphone, but on the front it was clean. This might be just an issue with this unit only, but thank goodness people aren't obsessed with looking at the back of their microphones once they set it up. I mean, right? There are 4 buttons on the mic. The LED one controls the RGB effects and the light on top of the microphone. Well, there are a few static colors on these lighting effects, and there's a mode where the light just transitions from one effect to the another. The mic button behaves like a gain control and has a tactile feel to it, but it's a free dial which gives you a wider control to adjust the overall gain of the microphone. But as it doesn't stop anywhere, it would be pretty hard to understand the intensity of the gain until you monitor your voice on the microphone in real time via that 3.5mm jack. The volume button helps you increase or decrease the volume of the sound which comes to your ears via that 3.5mm jack, and the echo button adds a real-time echo on the vocals like this. And if I increase the echo to about half, this is how it will sound, and if I increase it completely, this is how it will sound. So yeah, you can definitely do some sort of jagrata with the mic if you ever plan to do that with a microphone which is supposed to stream or game with. So this mic is a cardioid polar pattern microphone. So the shape at which the microphone catches the sound around itself is in this butt shape. To understand this pattern, just assume that the microphone is at the center of this pattern and your mouth is at the rear of this butt, in front of the microphone. So the microphone is supposed to catch any sort of sound in front of it and doesn't like those back booty calls. I mean, you can try, but you will drastically fail. The audio catch distance of the microphone is pretty good and it can be used at a decent distance from your mouth. But of course, like all the other cardioid microphones, the mic will catch the best punchy vocals when it is up close to your mouth. The default noise cancellation for a little white noise from the background works pretty good and works better than my Samsung Meteor actually. This is how the microphone sounds like with a variety of tests. So right now the noise cancellation is completely off. The gain is set to some parameter, and this is how the microphone will sound. And if I shift a little back from the mic at about 1 feet, this is how the microphone will sound. And if I further push myself away from the microphone, this is how the microphone will sound. And about 2.5 3 feet, this is how the microphone will capture the sound. And I think the overall reception of the microphone is pretty good. A mosquito is trying to land on the microphone. Yeah, pretty good whistleblower. And this is how the microphone will sound like if you are somehow managed to keep it next to your mouth, as close to your mouth as possible. I feel the reception and the kind of vocal quality the mic is able to produce is fine. But yeah, there are some drawbacks which I will share ahead. Okay, this is how the microphone will sound when I am extremely close to the mic, and this is how the mic will sound when I am about 1 feet away from the mic. And if I push myself farther away from the mic, this is how it will sound. I'm approximately 1.5 feet away from the mic, and now I am about 2 or 2.5 feet away from the mic. So now I'm going to read this tongue twister and check how the microphone does about all the puffs and sounds, the sort of sounds my mouth might make. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? So right now the inbuilt noise cancellation is turned on the mic, and you can notice as soon as I speak of something, like if I mute myself, if I keep quiet, you won't be able to listen much of white noise in the background. But as soon as I start speaking, it will also try to it will capture some of that white noise and overlap it with my vocals. So yeah, it works, but yeah, it has some flaws, but the feature definitely works. So now if I turn off the noise cancellation, you could notice the difference. So yeah, right now the noise cancellation is off, and this is how the microphone behaves. There's absolutely no noise cancellation, neither in the software and neither on the app. So this is how the mic will perform. And if you are into any sort of ASMR stuff, and for the keyboard test, when the noise cancellation is on, so now the noise cancellation is on. I'm working on a chiclet keyboard right now on this laptop, scissor type keys. So yeah, I think not a bad performance. Obviously a mechanical keyboard will make way louder sound than this. These are some of the keys which are as soft as possible. The recorded audio from the mic when it was at some distance from my mouth might have sounded a bit too high pitched, or you can also call it something which has just too much boost around the higher frequencies. So it definitely lacks any sort of punch, or you could say those low frequencies boost to the recorded vocals. So if you want any sort of heaviness to your recorded vocals, then this might just disappoint you a bit. The only solution is to keep this mic as close to your mouth as possible, but I'm not sure how a desk microphone, which doesn't really have a boom arm support, which is easily available right now. I mean, I'm not simply sure how this is gonna work out for most of us, or most of you. Unless you decide to just tape it on any of these cheap scissor type arm supports and sacrifice a bit on the aesthetics here. Well, until then, you are at the mercy of how many books you keep under this microphone to make it reach closer to your mouth. So I hope you are someone who still owns a few books around, as I never thought they could be ever useful until now. But if you're someone who has a naturally sounding heavy voice, then this is a problem you might not face. You can also try fixing this a bit in the equalizer APO, but don't expect drastic changes. What I really like though is how better the reception of the microphone is, and even at about almost 2 or 3 feet, the microphone could capture my voice clearly. It was a bit confusing when I tried to enable the inbuilt noise cancellation feature of the mic. To enable it, I had to touch the top mute sensor for about 2 seconds, and then the light blinked a little, which denotes the noise cancellation is on. But to disable it again, the light on the mic doesn't really change into something else or even blinks. So it would be pretty hard to figure out if the noise cancellation is on or not without at least monitoring the sound in real time. The noise cancellation works to some extent. I wouldn't call it bad, but I wouldn't call it good either. Well, as it was clear in this test, as soon as I spoke into the microphone, the white noise from the background amplifies with the vocals. So yeah, it's good for the blank parts when you are not speaking into the microphone, but as soon as you speak in, any sort of background noise will definitely overlap with the vocals. So other third-party noise cancellation applications might give this microphone a better output. The mic didn't work on the phone though, so that's a bummer. Well, the other options in this same price bracket is the Redgear Shadow Vox, which unfortunately I don't have with me, so I'm not sure which one of these two will be better. And then there are some other affordable options from brands like Mono 2, but they don't have all these features or even any sort of RGB lighting if you're someone who digs all that aspect on their peripherals. But I think the best looking microphone of this price segment is the Wente 220 for sure, as it adapts to a more trendy design, which we typically see on desk microphones these days. So if you are a streamer who shows their entire setup in streams, with of course the mic too in the picture, then the Wente 220 might just succeed in adding some sort of beautification in that shot too. Plus, yeah, definitely the number of features this microphone has really makes it a value for money mic for the overall package it offers. Although I'm not a fan of how it records the vocals unless the microphone is extremely closer to your mouth, which to be honest is a trait for most condenser microphones anyway. So if you want this mic to perform its best, then make sure you have to figure out some sort of jugaad or makeshift to keep it as close to your mouth as possible. So let me know what you think of the mic, and if you like the video, you can also buy from the affiliate links which I will post below. And you can also hop on to a Discord server for more chit chat on relevant content. This is relevant content, I hope. So stay safe humans, that's all for today. MewBot out.
I mean, you can tell me if this is a good microphone or not.